What's up, gamers? I participated in the Big Juicy Game Jam hosted by Jacksepticeye and John Szymanski. And with my very limited game development knowledge, I knew I had to stick to what I know and make something very simple, very doable for a beginner, very YouTube tutorials already exist for this kind of game. Let me point the microphone at my face for a second. I've uninstalled and reinstalled game engines quite a few times over the years, and I'm subscribed to at least 2 game development channels, which means I was more than qualified to be making a game, right? But also, I've been an obnoxious YouTuber for the past 3 years, and when your bizarre, potentially undiagnosed ADHD Gen Z sense of humor makes you make stuff like this, you learn a thing or two about sound design, because I knew my game didn't have to be great. It didn't even really have to be that fun, as long as it looked good and sounded good. And the sound design wasn't actually as good as I wanted it to be, but I did make this very cool sound. And now that we got that little success out of the way, I know that's not why you clicked on this video. The other thing about this game is it needed to look cool, or intriguing at the very least. And I've been doing a podcast every single week, sometimes this whole year, where I make a silly little drawing in 15 to 30 minutes every single episode. Occasionally for some of them. And also, I'm a narcissist, and I think my art style is very cool and interesting. But anyway, thumbnail. Here is my sketchbook that I've kept in the back of drawers and bags for over 10 years. I've always been decent at drawing, but I've only done it off and on because playing video games and watching YouTube is much more fun and addicting to my brain. And then they also invented TikTok. But recently, I've realized I might be able to make a quick buck by making intriguing games and clickbait YouTube videos with my drawings. So I'm back in it, gamers. No, but legitimately, I've been really wanting to make games using traditional drawing because that's something that I can do, and I think it would be very cool. It's a bit of a cheat code to have a interesting and unique looking game. And I have in fact over this year learned how to take things from this sketchbook and bring them into videos and turn them into PNGs and whatnot through a legendary little process called making sure the ink is kind of dark on the page, at least the outline, and then taking a not blurry photo of the page next to the window so there's a lot of light, and then transferring that onto my computer and taking it into Photopea, the janky free web version of Photoshop, and then cranking the contrast and selecting the drawing and hitting Ctrl-J so that I bake in the contrast and free up anything that isn't ink or paper, so I can go to select remove background, which usually leaves you with a beautiful little PNG that you can use for whatever you please. But also sometimes you have to do it manually. Number 50. But anyway, if you can get something from your sketchbook onto your computer as a PNG, you can basically do anything. Except for murder. Which is exactly how I made a video game with a sketchbook. And honestly, I don't really know what the point of this video is other than to brag about how cool I am for doing that. But also, participating in Jacksepticeye changed my freaking life, dude. Which is what I was going to title this video. But then I found a script that I already mostly wrote. So like, let's go, less work for me, apparently, with this better title. Because the announcement for Jacksepticeye really came at the perfect time, when I was wanting to get back into game dev for realsies shortly after I started Twitch streaming. And of course, there's the fact that there would be a very strict deadline for my lazy ass. So I was able to just start with game dev and make something, anything really. And the fact that I was able to get a taste of being a live streamer by clout chasing Jacksepticeye for views by playing people's jam submissions over on my Twitch. Shout out my Twitch. Go follow my Twitch. So overall, Jacksepticeye did legitimately change my life a little bit. It was super fun, and it was so cool to be a part of that. And also, perfect non-existent segue that I wrote here in this script. My style as a YouTuber is very strange and peculiar. One might argue that my style as a person is very strange and peculiar. Ever since the beginning of my channel, I've done very bizarre and random editing. I've been learning so much over the years with the, at first, very unexpected, absurd amount of editing that you have to do. I already talked about sound design, but there's also Photoshop for thumbnails and stupid visuals. But even before starting my YouTube channel, I've been so insanely interested in game dev. Ever since I almost beat Super Mario Sunshine with permadeath at the age of 5, honestly. Also, something that is very important to my channel is the very I'm 14 and this is deep lore. And my very I'm 14 and this is deep nature was very apparent in my jam game. And it will be very apparent in future games. That's right, gamers. The actual point of this video is to tell the internet that I'm going to be continuing with my game dev journey. I have a really good idea for a very short, very simple horror game. Although these things never are as simple or as short as they seem. Low-key, guess I'll see you in a few years, you know? If I manage to actually stay on it for that long. But I'm sticking to what I know. I am going to make sure the sound design is at the forefront of the game again, actually spending time on it until the sounds are done this time. Granted, the sound design for this next idea is going to be a lot more straightforward. And also, I'm sticking to the sketchbook for this one as well. I did get a nicer, larger sketchbook. This one is kind of broken and there isn't much left in it. What am I saying? There aren't as many free pages here, so I can't do weird janky animation, which I've been doing. That's kind of crazy, right? But yeah, my new one is a bit bigger, very cool, very awesome. And I'm doing that because a lot more people than I thought said they liked the art style of my jam game, and I've gotten some compliments on my PNG tuber I drew for Twitch, which overall has just been fueling my narcissism. This is officially my style for making video games, and it's better than any style that's ever existed, honestly. So I will continue making games with my sketchbook. Big juicy thanks to John Shemansky and Sean McLaughlin. Am I saying that right? Legitimately, that jam came at the perfect time and really got the ball rolling for me. And my God, do I have a hard time getting the ball rolling on things. The next video on this channel will be me trying to do that. For the lore? And I would cut to a little preview thing, but the full video isn't going to be that long. And this video was supposed to be out before November was over, and I'm recording this on the 3rd of December. Technically the very beginning of the 4th of December. So it's not even a case of me underestimating how long editing takes, it's just me being lazy and not recording this video. But how am I gonna end this video, you ask? I don't know. I didn't finish writing this script. I thought it would be cool to do a new angle for this one because I guess I haven't really shown off that many angles of my room, but this one seems a bit more dynamic, a bit more cool, a bit more like a professional little YouTuber, you know? This feels a lot more video essay-esque than just being across my bed and whatever and whatnot. Yeah, because usually professional good YouTubers will sit at a desk, but there isn't enough room here to like put a camera and have good framing, but also I thought it would be a good idea to show all my little oddities and trinkets. Actually, this isn't all of them. There are some other weird little things right here. There is in fact a doll over there that looks kind of haunted. Got it at Goodwill. Shout out Goodwill. Shout out Will, if you will. Her name is Margaret.